Welcome to Weird and Woo Woo, where I'm weird and we get a little woo woo. Okay. Um, I'm a bit discombobulated because I have a very specific necklace that I wear with this one. And like I keep looking, I'm like, do I have it on and I can't find it? Like, I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. And then like a inkling in me is like, is this something to do with the reading? Like, is there like a hint in here somewhere? Because it's like I can't get rid of that thought either. And I don't know, y'all. I don't know. This feels a little weird. It's my divine feminine goddess necklace. And I'm like, where in the F are you? Like I take it off all the time with this one and it's nowhere to be found. And I'm like, when I tell you I looked everywhere it could be, I'm just like, what? I don't know, y'all. So let's just see. We'll see. This is coffee and tarot. Yes, y'all know me with my coffee. That's cold coffee, by the way. All dolled up with extra protein because us ladies need that. I'm irritated with that. Actually, I better find it afterwards. Anywho, let me go ahead and remind you, coffee and tarot. So we come into this without any kind of parameters, no time frames, no specific desires or outcomes from this message. We're basically coming to the table, sitting down and let spirit have free reign. Okay, that's what coffee and tarot is. We put no parameters on it. We don't come in with any intentions, no questions, no nothing. So I don't know what we're going to get into once we do. That's how this goes. Usually with coffee and tarot, the reason why it's called coffee and tarot is because we pull up a seat, right? This is like when we're having a conversation at a coffee shop and we're taking our time and we're going to get deep usually. So I suggest that you grab a cup, right? Lemon water, tea, coffee, whatever it is that is mine's always coffee. Okay. Um, Settle in and let's just see if there's a message. Okay. Now, as always, you're a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation is never Cinderella shit to make it fit. Okay. Okay. The energy feels like, the very first day that you go to school, the very first day that you start a new job, the very first full day in a new home, it's like the first day of something, right? Where reality sinks in and it's like, okay, here we go. That's what the energy's feeling like right now. So we're going to start with Hermetic Tarot. And I just heard the first full day. So maybe this is something that you have, like it's not the very first day of something, but it's the first full day of something. The first time you've fully been in something, you've fully indulged, you're fully ready. I don't know. You're fully something. I always read like I'm reading for the person that's watching. Obviously, you know your situation best. That's the reason why I said you're a sovereign being. You can determine if, how, when, where, why. Messages apply, right? It just makes it easier if I have that as a focal for when I'm speaking. Like I just treat you like you're the universe, which is the world card with the 9 of Wands. At the bottom of this is called Great Strength. 9 of Wands is the having to persevere card. It is the perseverance card. The world, though, it's almost as if something opens up This feels like the energy of what I'm saying. The first full day. It's like they're showing me like a path, like a direction opening up. Um, this doesn't feel like past perseverance, even though I would assume, given that the Fool to get to the World card requires perseverance. So yes, it did, but it's like the world only have. Okay, so yes, it is past, as in like the only reason the World card shows up, why things have opened up for you, is because you hold within you this capacity. They don't want to focus on what it means to have had to persevere and have great strength. But it's almost as if it's like what you've gone through cultivated this level of strength. But strength that you're going to need from this moment forward is not the circumstances are going to be different, is what I want to say. It's as if it's like whatever you endured previously to cultivate and solidify um, this. So let's give like working out, right? I don't know where we're going with this analogy, but we're just gonna go with it. Um, they're showing me somebody. We see all these people on social media talking about like where they started and the level of what it took, right, to get to the world card from beginning to where they are now. In that, the trials, the errors, the chaos, the lack of motivation, the obstacles, the emotional uh, uh, toll that it takes, whatever, like it cultivates, it sharpens that blade, right? What was used to sharpen this skill to cultivate this um, ingrained aspect of the self is not how it's going to be used moving forward, right? The tactics and the means and the measures and all that kind of stuff in order to gain the muscle, in order to lose the weight, in order to uh, um, wield this new physique is not the same as what it would require to maintain that, right? So maybe the goal was to lose weight and get fit, but now your goal is to run the Ironman, like do the Ironman, like run a marathon, run a, you know what I mean, participate. And it's kind of like the only reason you can do what you're about to do is because of all that time that cultivated this. I want to call it a skill. It's a capacity for something. Your ability to hold space and be consistent with something. Strength is something that is it just doesn't come overnight. It just doesn't. Um, I don't want to say that it's practiced, but it is something that is you build. You're not born with great strength. People who have the capacity, it's giving like somebody who is it like let me give you this, right? We've seen people become famous and they crumble under the fame, and then we've seen other people become famous. And I'm thinking of Killian Murphy. That's who I was thinking Peaky Blinders. That motherfucker has done well with his there's something that was cultivated within him prior to becoming the level of famous that he is now that allows him to walk through fame differently than others. He has the capacity within him, the know-how, the wisdom, the discernment, in order to allow to allow this to work for him versus have an impact on him. Does that make sense? And so, like, the way in which he walks through fame is different than other people. And we have seen others come into fame, celebrity status, whatever you want to call it, and they crumble right before everybody's eyes. I mean, so it's as if you can't just walk in and be able to deadlift 350 pounds. You build to that point, right? At which point you can now enter into competitions, be successful, have notoriety, have it's like whatever is in front of you, you couldn't just walk right into. Um, there is a level of strength, and they keep putting resiliency, and I personally hate that word. Because who the fuck? I don't want to be resilient. I don't want to be resilient. So let's get rid of that word. Um, 'Cause, I mean, sometimes with resiliency, it celebrates unnecessary wounding and trauma, like and your ability to you came back for like I shouldn't have had to. So that's a whole story, right? So I'm not really fond of the term being resilient. Um, you just you could not have you would not have had the capacity to carry and do what it is that you're about to do if you hadn't gone through that though. This isn't the kind of strength that you're born with. This is the kind that you had to build up to. It's the only reason. And that's not to say that what cultivated this level of strength within you is going to continue to happen. It's just that it sharpened you to be able to deal with what's about to happen. It's funny because if you were to tell somebody now you're going to have accolades and opportunities and people wanting to be around you and people looking towards you and you're going to have the money and the means and all kinds of stuff of fame, and it's like that sounds amazing, how could that be hard? And it's a whole other level, it's a whole other level of capacity that has to be within somebody to manage that. Um and they're like, you can't do fame. I mean, you can't do fame to learn how to handle fame. And again, this is just an analogy, right? Something to compare it to. Um, Fame is something that really, it's other situations and circumstances that would build that muscle up, that would give you the capacity to handle this. Because, like I said, the people who didn't have anything before, you think, oh, they crumple right in front of it's there's an internal emotional intellectual spiritual strength that you have, and if you just walk right into fame thinking I'll cultivate it while I'm moving along, you may hit a point of no return under that level of burden. Okay. um we see people who attempt to heal too fast, who we talk about spiritual psychosis, we talk about like there's a lot of things that people when they enter into it blindly without help, without having the capacity yet, and they think that they can take on so much and it seems so easy to the eye, and it's like you have no clue, you have no clue. So whatever you've gone through, and I know this is a colloquial saying, has prepared you for this. And no, it's not the same because I just want to say it's like the idea of getting, again, with working out. what got you to this point isn't the thing that's going to sustain you. Things will change the way in which you approach it. You know what I mean? So the circumstances won't be the same. But you had to go through that grueling stuff to get to this place in order to be and do the things you want to do right now that you're about to do. It sounds so stupid in my head, and I keep saying they keep saying it's like you can't do fame to learn how to deal with fame. Like it's a very specific set of situation, right? Where it's like it's going to have to be other things that get you to this point. Kind of like when you do when you're trying to lose fat but build muscle, it's like when the people are trying to do that, like they're trying to get fit, you would use a calorie deficit, but add protein. Like there's all kinds of, but what you do once you get to this maintenance stage, which is just as difficult, which you couldn't do before. You had to do all the other stuff. It's just that energy. Like I really feel like I am just saying a bunch of stuff and I'm like, am I getting it across? I don't know if I am, but I'm gonna have to move forward because I hate being a dead horse. Like it's just like seriously. Um, but I get what they're saying. Like you would have sunk. So whatever it is that you're about to do, if you thought, well, I'll just learn along the way and I'll cultivate the capacity and I'll cultivate, you'd have sunk, at like the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. You'd have been gone. The unsinkable. You thought I don't no, no. So, and you may not understand the things that you've gone through and how that's created the level of resiliency within you. Um, They won't let me go. I'm trying to remember the word I used before, and they won't let me go back to it. They won't let me go back to it. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what else because I put that deck up. Like those are the only two cards from that deck. Knights and Tarot. You're gonna see though. I get this level of unbothered, of things not being able to shake you. Like you've built up something internally that now cannot be influenced, impacted, or touched by external factors. It just is not. You won't crumble. I already see the Nine of Cups and I see the Queen of Wands. And it's already like I haven't even looked at all the cards, and they're already like, this is something that you've wanted, it's what you've asked for. Um, I guess they use the analogy of fame because it's like, but now they're like, whatever this is would garner some level of attention. You wanted this attention. These two things. Nine of Cups, Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands always has a lot of attention. They're giving me a place of prominence. There's a sense of self here that's unwavering, untouchable. It feels like there's this barrier between you and the external world. Like your only gauge of the self is yourself. I get this sense of not taking anything external, like other people, other opinions, other perceptions, as anything serious or real. Because they're bringing me to like I'm always like anybody who's so callous that they don't care about a human life or how what they do impacts a human life. I can't visibly see them as human. Like, there's something else. Because that level of compassion and conscious awareness is more of a human aspect. And I'm like, I can't see you. If you don't have any soul, if you don't have any heart about you, I can't see you as human. And so therefore, nothing you ever say is ever going to fucking matter to me. So and they're giving me like that, like it can't penetrate because it's like I don't even see you as real. Whatever you are, you ain't real. It's like, and so that's the way it feels. I mean, the Queen of Wands is a very unshakable sense of self, impenetrable by external forces. But I think the Queen of Pentacles is referencing more of, but you're more than that. Like I get this. I know that the Queen of Cups is what you would think, but it's like having this having this sense of Queen of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles, this undeniable ability to nurture, cultivate. Um, there's a sense of completeness. And so maybe this is something that you had. This is the strength that they're talking about of the Queen of Wands, because you had to finish the Queen of Wands to become the Queen of Pentacles. The capacity to be caring and compassionate, yet um, I just get this force field of protective force field around you where external factors don't penetrate you and influence you. You really do allow your inner compass to be the guide. So there's something about you having to do like this resiliency that they're talking about has everything to do with being the Queen of Wands, mastering that. And then bringing me to the to with the Queen of Wands. So I always tell people, like, there is nothing you can do that I haven't already done to me. There's nothing you can say. There's no level of shame or level of like you can't hurt me the way I can hurt me. Fucking promise you. And so maybe whatever you went through really had a lot to do. Again, it was your internal, your sense of self. And so it's like your worst critic was you. I get this feeling of like you had to walk through some kind of fire. And because of that, you are now truly the Queen of Pentacles. And I think that they're bringing out the Queen of Pentacles because they really want to reference the here and now, this material world, the path that you're walking, how you move in your life, how it's going to impact or is impacting your life now that that has been mastered. So when we're talking about this new thing that's happening, these doors that are opening up, only because now you have the capacity. Ace of Wands. The journey to here, we have the Six of Swords with the Hermit card. To get to this space, I want to say you probably you were probably the lonely you were so very alone. You had you yourself, and that's it to rely upon. um, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, probably even materially. This hermit card is giving me this sense of being placed in some type of cocoon, so that all you had to walk through your own fire, like really walk through your own fire. Um, because nothing could get to you and you couldn't get to nothing, all your energies turned in on itself. You had to face everything. You, yourself, and I kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like you, yourself, and you. Like it's that was the journey. The Six of Swords. That was the journey to the Ace of Wands. I'm putting the King of Cups over here. You're gonna go from Hermit to the Star card. Because the Star card is, again, they wanted me to use it. I don't want to necessarily that you're gonna have pain, but like you are going from unseen to seen. There is an elevation here of some type of either influence or, again, they were giving me prominence earlier, a sense of prominence. Because we have the Page of Pentacles. Whatever you wanted, whatever this Nine of Cups was, whatever you wanted that you couldn't just walk right into and learn as you go, because you would have crumbled, you would have broken down. You may have hit a point of no return. Um, it has a level of prominence where eyes will be on you, maybe scrutiny as well. And you had to be prepared to not give a fuck about that scrutiny, about who is watching, about how you're being perceived, about it could not impact your sense of self whatsoever. It needed to be where you wouldn't question yourself as a result of others. Maybe there will be scrutiny for something that you're about to do. But whatever comes from this, like whatever flack, backlash, or energies that get projected to you will pale in comparison to what you've just went through and what you've done to yourself. This journey that you're on. It'll feel like beads of water just rolling right off. Okay. Yeah. Unaffected. Neutral. We got the Temperance card. It's like your ability to alchemize that is just, it doesn't even feel like alchemy. It's like turning water into wine. Your sense of neutrality. There's a sense of neutrality. And then we have the Eight of Wands. Because when you step into this, whatever this new path is going to be, um, it is a complete 180. It is a stark contrast. It is like a switch being flipped. There's nothing gradual about it. It's not a gradual climb. It's as if somebody just snapped their fingers and you're there now. You're there. This sense of calm that you have about yourself, though, is going to pay off really big. I just get this sense of level headedness. They keep showing me Killian Murphy. He's so fucking unbothered. He doesn't get wrapped up in things. He's not one to be pulled into the drama of stuff or the ego of being famous, or it really is it has it his life has remained the same with his family. It's not it's just something that he does. He has not gotten swept up in and pulled into. You needed to be there. You needed to not be influenced. Oh, thank you. I was looking at this like, what the fuck? I was like, this, no, it's the seven of wands. You can't be influenced. Your boundaries are solid. Your sense of self is solid. You're operating how you want to operate. It is Killian Murphy, like fucking through and through. Let's pick this up. I want something different. So you're about to enter into something, and you're not gonna have. This is like taking on a role that you're like. I one time was helping with the hiring process in something, and I remember my boss, who is in a very prominent position herself, was like, I was like, but this person has all of these things. And she goes, yeah, but this one has all the potential. She just hasn't been given the opportunity yet. And I was like, ah. It was one of those things where it was like, so the person that didn't have any, this would be like being bumped up into a position that it's like, you may feel like you have no business being a part of. Like, who is this nobody getting put into this position or beginning to walk this path? Having this level of influence or prominence in this type of a position. People try to do that about politicians who are really young. Who is this 22-year-old thinking that they can just whoop, whoop, right into the Senate seat, being a senator, or this, that, the other? And it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It seems unlikely. It's a stark contrast. Where did this person come from? Where was their climb? There's no climb. They didn't build up from like city council to this to this to this. Now they're a senator. No, they went from straight out of college or no college at all, barely out of high school. Boom! Now they're a senator. Like it's boom boom. It's day and night. There's no climb. There's nothing, and then there's everything. It feels like that. Um, Era elements. What is this? Oh, mm, this is like a dual meaning. This King of Cups feels like it is a throw to you knowing your worth and your discernment of what you're willing to pour your energy and your emotions into and what you're not. So if there's a lot of naysayers or people that have commentary or people that say anything, it's like the level of I don't give a shit. Like you just can't be bothered with you couldn't give two shits. Really truly what any other naysayer might have to say. Like it's like it's a non-issue. You're not even giving it time. You're not gonna invest your emotional like you're not gonna allow that. First off, you don't let anybody just pour into your cup. You have that discernment. But also you're not gonna pour your emotions or any your spiritual health or anything like that. You're not gonna spill a drop on any of those motherfuckers. No one's gonna get you out of your out of your emotions. I just feel like his foot is in the water. That's his intuition. This individual knows. You're not going to catch me sideways, is what I just heard. Okay. Nine of Wands again. You're definitely wholeheartedly in your power. Others don't get to manipulate or wield anything over you. Like they can't control you in that way. This is to me feels like the right kind of protection, the right kind of walls, the right kind of um barrier, the appropriate barrier being placed between you and something else. Star card also, fuck. Are we going to repeat everything? There is something about being a beacon, like, the lighthouse for others. Um, like either you're going to be mentoring, guiding, managing something with other people, and you need to be in this unwavering state so that you can be the example, the lead for others. I just heard no one wants a leader who's always uncertain. People need to have confidence in you, and you will lead through example. It doesn't mean that you know it all or that you're perfect, but people want to be led by somebody who really knows themselves. And it is solid, unwavering. That lighthouse is always there, always on, always. It's not. It's like, okay, I get it. The lighthouse is the one that can still stand strong and be a beacon even in the foggiest and most uncertain, stormiest times. It's like you're solid despite whatever chaos may be going on around you. Five of wands. You're steady and sturdy even in the midst of conflict. You don't get swept up or swept away by any of that. Is giving. See, I feel like Aqua would be like arguing with me on this one, but it's giving Capricorn energy big time. And I know that's an earth sign, but it's like you had to walk through the fire to become the Queen of Pentacles, to be this solid, well rooted, impenetrable, unmovable force and light. You had to walk that path. We are getting a lot of the same cards. Six of Swords. You had to walk that path to get this knowledge. You know how not to be swept up by this. But see, the thing is, with the Six of Swords, usually in Rider Waite, there's a boat. One person is in it. You're helping people to get to the other side. Same with the lighthouse analogy. You are helping, guiding people to cross some kind of treacherous, stormy, maybe the same thing you just went through, to find themselves, a sense of self. Because usually in the boat, there's two people. One that is helping to guide it, and the other one is the one that because the person who's rowing the boat has already done this a multitude of times. Yeah, to help show them the way. We have the eight of Pentacles, which is knowing the course, seeing it through. And then we have the Two of Cups. This is giving, like, I always tell people, like, I don't, I don't want to go and work with somebody who's not done the work themselves, who's not been down that path. Be really careful of taking any kind of advice from somebody who's not done it themselves. Like, there's a lot of therapists out there that will, because they've been taught from a book, a book that is based on men. And, like, it's one of those things where it's who have no real knowing of what it means to heal, who've never really walked that path. But they'll be telling you how to do that. It's the same analogy as like with addiction. Having somebody that can mentor you who has been through the addiction and come out on it the other side is better than somebody who hasn't. They won't understand the intricacies and the nuances and cannot connect to the same energy in the way that someone who's walked that path already has. Yeah. To guide them out of this grief, to guide them away from this sense of separation within the self, because they don't know how. They don't know how. They're walking through the dark. Moon card. But you can help to show them the way. So this really is giving a very mentor-ish guide, leader kind of a role that you're about to step into. To make it out on the other side, the resiliency it takes and requires to make it out on the other side. When people can't find their way out. Because the chariot's about rhino spirit. It is my charging forward and not stopping despite the obstacles that are in the way. No one steps in front of a rhinoceros because I'm telling you, the rhino's not the bitch that's going to be moving. You will. They'll move you out the way. They'll run you over. They'll run right through you. Whatever obstacle is there, unless it's they are not. They're unwavering. There is guaranteed victory and success. And there's just something about you helping to show the way. And this can be done on every level, guys. This is like micro, meso, macro. This can be very socially, because there's a lot happening in the world. We are in a very massive evolution of our existence, and it's happening globally. And this can be somebody stepping into this type of a role at any level, grassroots, personal. Like this can be community wise. This could be, again, like politically speaking. It could be being a spiritual leader of some sort. But it's about, again, I just feel like saying it's one thing to read from a textbook. It's another entirely to have someone showing you as a leader would. the way through because they've been through it themselves. It's giving I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. It's like I've been through hell. I can tell you how to get through. I can walk with you because I've done it before. So this is for those who are about to step into, I don't want anybody, when we talk about fame, it's like you will receive prominence because people will be looking to you as a leader in whatever form or fashion. This could even be within, like business models, existing companies. It's like changing things from this patriarchal capitalistic mindset to, a more matriarchal community. But the change that it takes, the resiliency, what it requires of each of us as individuals to push through and not succumb to the systems at play or to the circumstances that are in our lives, whatever it is, you will be in a leadership role. It gives you a sense of prominence, um, but you've only made it here because of the way that you wielded and built the capacity to be this. Because it, in and of itself, if you attempted to do this, I think you would have crumbled. You had to go through what you went through to be in this position to begin with, so that you could be that rock, that light. Unwavering. So, is there anything that you want to say? Like, is this because it feels here? Is this visible to them yet? Is my question. Let's pull just a little bit more, and then we'll wrap it up. Is this visible yet? Is this visible? Or is it about to appear? There's a reason we had this conversation. Is it visible right now? It's giving. This is about to happen. When I said it's like it's there, it's not there one day and then it is, like it's like you're thrust into this position. There is the Hierophant. Um, it is giving like there's an existing structure within which you will be thrust into, but it is talking about, it says seek out like-minded mentors, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. Like this is to me, it's giving you will be sought out. There may be existing frameworks that you are being pushed into, but I'm like, do you see it? And they're like, no, but you're about to be seen. We've got the King of Wands. It's like you're seen before you see it. Like if we're talking about like-minded individuals, you may be like, what may thrust you is because I'm just, to me, the King of Wands is like a peer of yours, like somebody who already garners a lot of attention already in these kind of arenas, and it's like you catch the attention of others before you realize anything, and then before you know it, you're there. That's why I feel like it's already here, because they're like you're already being seen, you're already visible. you don't see that you are necessarily. So when you garner this attention from maybe a very specific place, or those that see you as I don't want to say equal, but like they want to pull you in, like they see your potential, they see who you really are. There's just something about it, like it's going to be clear to you, but by the time it's clear to you, you will already have a lot of eyes on you because there's no climb. There's no climb. There's that King of Cups again. Someone very trustworthy, compassionate, respected. It is telling you to open up your heart and your mind to this individual. They're trustworthy and they have heartfelt advice. Funny. Someone who sees you as their equal, but you may view as more of a mentoree or like a leader in some capacity, in some aspect. And it's like, but they see you as their equal. They see you as the same as them. You're already being perceived by this individual or individuals. That may play a factor into the level of your being seen. Because if they're like pulling people in, because again, there's this seeking mentors, seeking like-minded individuals. If they pull you into their circle or into whatever they're doing, their field, their um, then inevitably you will be seen because you're seen by them. Justice. There's something because you'll do what is right. It's giving. We are repopulating and redoing things in society now. You know, the idea of we're making the right people famous or putting the right people in power to dismantle the system that has been built by those who should never been there. Like we look at Hollywood and we're like, it needs to be gutted and the right kind of people put in there. Like we've played a blind eye. Like that's what it's giving. Like strategically putting the right people in the visible spots who deserve to be there, who are true leaders, who help see this evolution through. Because it talks about doing what is right, standing up for your beliefs, making fair and just decisions. It's as if it's only right that you join the ranks. It's giving people are seeing you already and almost observing you. And I know I've heard some of these readings, but they always sound really like frou-frou-y and no offense, stupid. And it doesn't really make a lot of like it was never really discussed like this. It always felt like it was placating to some kind of ego, the way it was presented. And this is giving like like you can't even imagine the many and varied areas where this would apply. Confidently accept opportunities that are offered to you. When these individuals, I mean, somebody's being propelled to a position of prominence to an influential state because of your strength, your capacity, resiliency, your firmness, your solid sense of self, and I want to say consistency, and it just gives or screams that you have been on someone or someone's radar for a period of time because there's this observation of certainty, and that definitely hints to something already that's already existing, an existing structure or an exist something already existing being elevated, pulled into that, but in such a manner where you become influential in that area, a leader. How does this opportunity arrive? This is giving like you're a risk worth taking. We have the Seven of Pentacles, which talks about seeds well planted, and I think that you're a seed. I think that somebody sees putting effort and pouring into you, because they are the King of Cups, as being worth it, because it's going to cultivate into something, because it's going to grow into something. The very two last readings, I kept talking about a seed being planted, in it, and I felt it in a different way. I was like, this seed is already planted. It's already been planted. It's already, and I was like, I don't fucking know what that means, spirit. This is what it means. And then we have the Four of Pentacles, which really talks about willing to invest. And I swear, it's like either somebody's going to go out on a limb for you, wants to. And when we talk about investing, people always think, oh, I'm going to give you money. That's not what it means. I'm going to give you opportunity. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to suggest you. I'm going to recommend you. I'm going to pull you in. I'm going to mentor you. I'm going to whatever. I'm going to put you in a position where I'm going to vouch for you. I'm going to whatever it is. It is an investment on their part because they're already in a position of leadership and prominence. And so who or what they touch or I'm gonna go, like pour into or connect with receives attention. And again, this doesn't mean like like oh I'm famous, I'm a celebrity. Like do you know how many people have very like most influential people are not actually quote unquote to the everyday person famous. You know what I mean? Within their area, within their niche, within their field, within they're well known, but it's like the right eyes. So somebody sees you as worth investing in, worth, and we have the moon coming out again. Yeah, it talks about events behind the scenes. Huh. So when they extend this opportunity of whatever kind, know that they see it as an important investment, an appropriate one, a well informed one, a worthy one. Um, they see you as one of them or like them of equal footing, just needing to be elevated. Like it's I again I just feel like they're looking for the right people to put in these kinds of positions, right? The right person to bring attention to, the right person to introduce other people to, the right like they're looking for the right ones because that seed they know is going to make it to the 10 of pentacles. And it is suggesting that you do accept this. And then it is asking you to release any kind of fears that would hold you back. I don't know why I want to say, please don't look at it as if you were a charity case or of Pentacles. It does talk about giving to those less fortunate. And one of the things that I saw on the King of Cups, and I didn't want to say it because it didn't feel like charity work, but they kept bringing me to it says charity work down here. You're not a charity case. Okay. So when they seek to invest in you, it's because you are worth it. And I don't know what capacity or how this what they what does it mean when they invest? It could go a million different ways. But we all see that. Like with Ashby on TikTok. Like it's like we found the right one. We made the right one famous. We're elevating the right one. It's like people are invested and put their time and support behind and energy. And it's like it shows up in so many different ways. Whatever they do, they see it as planting a seed, something that they know you can grow to this. But for whatever reason, I don't know if you don't see yourself on the same level as them, but you kind of feel like, or whatever it is that they're doing, you feel like it's a charity thing. Like, even if they introduce you to somebody, it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm the one that deserves this. So there's so many people that would want this position. Like, are you sure I'm really the right one? Whatever it is, you feel like it feels like a have and have not situation. But again, that's why they emphasize you're like their peer. They see you as a peer, as an equal, as a so it's not a charity case. This could be a situation where they're like, I'd love, I want to see that you do well. I have like, maybe you didn't want to go to California because you couldn't afford to live out there. And they're like, you know what, I've got a place and I will just charge this much. That's well within your budget. Come on out. I want to see you succeed. I love what you're doing. Like, I don't fucking know. Like there's a million ways this could happen. But it's seen as a good investment. You are a good investment. You're worth it. So, so this fear of being a charity case or feeling like you're undeserving of it because there's other people that want this and like you've not earned it or you've like I don't know what you're thinking. But there might be this weird feeling, and you may not be able to identify what that weird feeling is about when they do this, but just know they're not just free willy nilly doing this. Okay. Because as with justice, it's the right decision. It's the right decision. Alrighty. Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope the message finds whoever it's meant for. I hope you all have a fantastic and wonderful day, and I will see you guys at the next read.